projectors. All right, today's project is water troughs. So we've got the sheep here, and we're going to send them over to Greta, where we've got adjustment for them. Where there's some grass. You can see around here, it's absolutely dry as a chip here, and there's not a lot of grass for them, so we're going to send them over there. We need a water trough, so I've got these old tubs here that I got from the last place I was working at. They were chucking them out, and I kept them because they're all sealed up. They're a good height. That's probably a couple of 100 mil deep. That'd be 100 litres or so, and we're going to put a float in so we can. The tank out there it doesn't have a pump at the moment, so we're just going to gravity feed it into a float. So we'll put an amount of float in here, get something going, and so we can move these out so the sheep have got some water. Nice and low for the lambs. We've got a couple of lambs there, so we're going to do that one for here, but we'll do that one another day. Where the priority is to get these sheep out there, so we're going to do that. All right, we'll get this in the shed, and we'll get down the house and we'll get it going down the shed. All right. Okay. Let's go. So, it's all wet. We've got a float here. This is an Apex Valves plastic trough valve, full flow, long tail. 125mm 1-inch BSP, BS2P thread. Alright, Legend. So, I've got this from the irrigation mob over at Rutherford. So, that's that 1-inch they're talking about on the end, the inlet. And look at that. So the water goes in there out of the tank or out of the pipe and out there to fill up the trough. And then get that float, Legend. Yeah. Now I only got a small float. This is a 100mm float, 4-inch. You can get a bigger float for bigger pump pressure, but this is only gravity tank pressure. So I've had these fall off, so I'm going to Loctite that on there when we get right into it. Right, so that will screw on there. We're going to find we may even bend this float. We may even shorten that a little bit because that's way too long for this tub. That's just what they had in stock, and I need to get this done. So see how that's going to be in there. We're going to drill a hole in the end here, and then this gasket, this nut, this gasket will be on the inside to seal the water in the trough. Yeah, that's right. That'll go through there, and so we need to make sure we've got enough room. So I might get the hole saw, and then we may in fact bend that or modify it to make it a bit shorter. Because look how far out into the trough that's going to stick out. We may in fact cut it down by half, I think, and tap it and put it back on to put it new again. All right, we'll get into it. Alright, so we've got our trusty hole saw kit here, and we already checked this out, but this is going to be, so this is 1-inch thread. It's a little bit bigger than that on the OD, but this is going to be perfect. Okay, that's a little bit big. That's 1.25 inches or 38mm. And for the bottoms out there, digital calipers. How's that crap? This is 32 OD, 33 nearly OD. Alright, and this is 37 OD and 33, 34. So we've got a couple of mil to play. That's perfect, and it'll still take up on that washer on the inside. So this is going to be great. So we're going to mark this out. We have to have this low enough that I can get the nut. We can get the nut. So if we work from the outside, that leg's not on the table. There we go. If we work here to get as much height out of it, but we've still got the nut. See that there, Spud? So we've still got to be able to spin that nut, get the nut on, get fittings on and whatever else. So if we leave that, if we just go, I reckon if we went Yep. So if we went, This thing to the center line to the top is about 30 mil. If we went 35 from where that top bottom of that rib is, we may even be able to cut some of that out to get a bit of extra height. I don't think I want to mess with that too much. I don't think it's worth the extra height in the trough. Oh, it may be actually. We're going to cut some of that out so we can get the extra height out of the valve with it inside in there. See there? If we cut some of this out, eh? Yeah. See that? All right, we might do that. What do you want there? Happy days. Oh, that bit there, yeah, nice.
No, the leg.
Oh, the leg. We're going to measure on the leg. 42 mil. Oh. I was thinking about chopping those legs off, eh? But I think if we put that on a few bricks when we go out there, it won't sink in the ground. That'll be good. All right, so we marked this out, and I'm going to cut a section here. Watch out, don't mess around with those too much. I'm going to cut a section out of that. So what I'm going to do first. So, that's no good, man. Texture. This aluminium doesn't want to dry. Look at that. We'll go there. Fix these sides up so we can see what we're doing. Like that. And like that. There we go. And if we drilled, I reckon that's about, see how that 10 mil is going to make the curve there on where we're cutting? Yep. See there? Look, I could even draw the curve there, look. See that? Yeah. Just, I mean, yeah, we're not really marking out that good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright. Happy with that? Alright. There you go. Get a drill going.
She's working.
Hey?
Now she's working.
Now she's working. There we go. So we'll just drill this. It's aluminium, so it's pretty forgiving. Beautiful. In with the 10 mil. There we go. It's a shower. See how that aluminium spud, she's a bit softer. Or as the Yankees say, aluminum. Right, oh, we probably only get any shavings in our valve. You know see how that works? When the water gets taken out, the bulb drops. And then when in here it shuts it off when the water comes up. You understand? So no one has to stand there worrying about the tapping that there. Alright, now this. Okay. So those of you who don't know, this one's for you, Spud. These discs, most of them are only meant for steel because the aluminium picks up in the disc, sticks to the disc and makes it out of balance. So you have to make sure you got the right disc, okay? This is an aluminium disc. It's designed to go with aluminium. You gotta be careful. These will have written on them metal. Look in big writing, metal, okay? And it'll say this one's a bit old. It's hard to do. Reinforced cut-off wheel, blah 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 blah, and it'll tell you what steels you can use it on. Yeah. And we're always wearing our safety specs, yeah. There's another one. Reinforced wheel for aluminium. Righto. Put those over there. Yep. You stand back for me, legend, okay? That's it. Excellent. Here we go. Little carbide bit. Put that in the drill. Drill's over here. Alright, so now what we need to do is mark out for our hole. I'm really glad we did that and got that extra space, because that's going to be a lot of, we've gained probably, yeah, look how much we've gained in that inside the tank, right? So that can be right on the top, it doesn't really matter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a bit of a guide. That's the most extreme of everything, so if we just mark that out so that it can still be turned, be slipped on and turned, and I'm not even really going to measure it, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to draw the circle. I'm going to get my big fat thumb out of the way and draw the circle. Then I'm going to pinpoint the middle, see that? Just like that. I don't know if the camera can see that, but we've just laid that up against there and marked it out. Right, bang, right in the middle. So, it'll be right. Just do it like that, should be okay. So, hole saw, we've got to get that apart. So put that in the drill. Might go a bit of a better drill. The big boy here with the, yeah, there we go. Put this in the drill. Ooh, that chuck needs to be a little bit. There we go, that's good. Now, gotta get that off. Shifter. There we go. Now we might need that ferrule. Yeah, we need the next one up. So there's an adapter here that goes from that small size up to the larger size. So we'll screw that on there. She's a bit junked up. Ooh, why is it not going in? We might need a little, oh, it's got a little bit of damage on it. That's why. She's had a hard life. Yep. Now if you can see there, just on this thread, there's a bit of damage. So what we're going to do is, I've got a thread file here somewhere. Here it is. So this is a thread file. We choose the right thread. I don't get too into, I'll just eyeball it. But you've got to be a bit careful to make sure it's the right pitch. But it doesn't, you know, it's not an engine head or something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not that one, it's not this one, it's not that one. So it's this one over here. It's one of these two. So that was the 16 threads per inch. And then I could put this in the vise, but I can generally just file that burr out. There we go. Oh yeah, she's a cranky old thread, that one. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to clean that thread out. Because it's a bit dodgy. Got our friend the greaser here. Whew. Beautiful. Rag. And now, oh yeah, much better. Now I've degreased that. What we're going to do is put a bit of lubricant on there, because these things always tend to want to stick. That tends to want to get locked in there. Oh, I can feel it's better. Yeah, there we go. Right, that'll wind in now. Excellent, beautiful. That'll go under there. That thread seems okay. We'll lube that up as well. There we go. Put that away. Put that on there. Excellent. Yeah. Ready to drill. Now what we'll do is, I think I've got some old thread cutting compound here, but I don't know how that's going to go with the aluminium. Probably reads a tin. High performance metal cutting lubricant. Promotes, containing extreme pressure additive, clings to tools and the workpiece, reducing friction and prolonging tool life. Requires, yeah, it doesn't say we can't. I can't remember using this stuff on aluminium, but we're about to do it. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Paste a bit of that all over there. I probably could have just used that Rocol spray, but that spray, but this stuff's probably far superior as a lubricating cutting compound. Put the lid on that so she doesn't get any goo in it. Safety's on.
Hey, Chris.
There we go. Safety third. Alright, now this is on a bit of an angle, so I'm adjusting my drilling angle to meet. Alright, could chalk it up straight, but I'm not that fussed about it. Actually, I will chalk it. Hang on. There we go. So I've drilled that hole. Now I'm going to slow the drill down, nice and steady. Alright. She's working hard, that's good. I can smell that fluid burning off.
And it's also sticky.
Yeah, this is, I'm going to go right in the hole there. There we go. Chuck was, that Chuck actually was it. This is an old drill. Let's see if we can. I thought I felt it go a bit. That's all I needed was a little bit of love. Ooh, jeez, that could be. There we go. That's lubed up. Righto. Well, hang on, it's coming up on the bench. Wait. Alright, there's our disc. Chuck that in the bin. I'll wipe that off later. Now we've got that burr in there still. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring that. We will just flush off the other side of this with the grinder. That got rid of most of the burr. It would be handy just to have. Oh, here we go. Here's another rag. You right, mate?
That's a bit right. I think it was an eye booger.
An eye booger. Not the morning eye booger. It's still pretty early. There we go. That's nice.
This needs 8.
Daylight savings tonight. No while. Got me. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. You know, that hole's a bit big.
Yeah.
Right, but that's just the one we had, right? Yeah,
That's the closest. It would be too small.
Yeah, too small, too big, and we could have gone and got another one, but this she'll seal up okay. We'll make sure that there we go, it's beautiful. Oh yeah, that's a good rubber gasket too. If we nip up on that now, you know what I think? That is going to be just enough room to get whatever fitting we put on there. We may have to cut a bit more of that out, but that's okay. Oh yeah, you'll feel when it's getting tight. Yeah. So bring these up here for a quick look. There's our float. Right, beautiful float. Now that's a little bit long, and it's just going to stick up above when it gets full of water there. So we don't want that, because we're going to put something on to protect that, yeah? That's all what we want. So we might even leave that. It's how long that is, Lawson. That's pretty good, I reckon. All right, so we need to Loctite this bulb on, and then we also need to put something on top here so the sheep don't mess around with this part of it and don't wreck it. So we're going to put a plate here. We'll find something to do that and make a plan there. Okay, so we've had a look at a few options here, and I rustled up some. I had this bit of galvanized sheet that I got from somewhere. I think I saved it from something. It was out of packing or something. I saved it. It's going to come in handy. And I've got a bit of channel here that's going to be good. I'm going to chop that up it's an offcut. It's a good size. All right, and this is just long enough. This is going to be just long enough to cover that. So I'm not even getting it too fancy. It's just to protect that float from the sheep and whatever else wants to come and drink water. Kangaroos, no doubt. So that'll take screw into there. That'll take screw into there. That'll protect that. They really have to be, messing with it to get that. We're not even going to cut that now. We're just going to leave it. There's going to be plenty of water space, plenty of trough, and that'll stiffen up when I do it. It's not really a sharp edge, okay? And these will be down flat. It'll be good. We'll get into it. I'm going to cut this, tech screw it on, and we'll come back. Tidy these up. Okay, beautiful. Excellent. Love it would have been longer, but not to worry. We're going to go this way. That'll tech screw on there. That'll be beautiful. The beauty about the tech screws too is we'll be able to take it off pretty easily. Alright, that's going in there, that's going in there, that's pretty straight. Can't handle that, I'm going to have to measure it. That's 485 and 490. 485, 490, 490, beautiful, yeah, much better. Alright, and that's fully protected there now. So I'm going to mark those out. Going to mark that there. Mark out one tech screw for the center. Make sure I get that in the middle. Yeah, beautiful. Now, what I'm thinking about doing, I'm just going to tech screw through that whole lot. Yeah, all gauge 45 now. These big boys, these will go through just about anything. Happy days. Now I'm going to through hole that so that it grips down. I could just go straight through all three of those, but then all three are going to be captured on the thread. So if I through hole this so that slips straight through, that's going to grab the aluminium and drag it down into the alley. So that's what I'm going to do. Beautiful. Nice. Now we can literally just tech screw that on there, right? Just the ones we decided on. Yep. Beautiful. There we go. That aluminium, she's pretty soft. Aluminium. Alright. Now the plate, that's going to be perfect. Just going to go right in the middle. Measure that out again. 115, 110, 100, 105, 105-ish. There we go. Beautiful. Something a bit shorter. That's all I've got, to be honest. I thought I had some more short guys here. Oh, yeah, they are, look. Little short guys. Little mini boys. I don't know what they are. 15 mil or something. I think they're like 16 mil. Alright, here we go. No need for pre-drill this time. That carried on, didn't it? There we go. Sweet. So now we can black this off if we need to get into that underneath there, yeah? I don't even put one there, see it'll be in the way of that fitting. So we'll just leave it. Excellent. Alright. Okay, so we've got our fitting coming out of the float and we need to get water to it. Now I know the tank where this is has a valve on it and this was off there. This was from the tank valve and this is the thread, this is the coarse thread that goes on to a pump, right? That's what that's for. Right, so I pilfered that so I could know. Now, I may in fact use this hose again as the, between the two, but what I want to do out there is they're going to put a pump there anyway. So we're going to have a T-piece here so that we can get water to this and water to the pump with two ball valves. So it'll come out of the tank, there'll be a T-piece, something like this, and then one that'll come out of the tank, one will go to the pump so it can pump to the rest of the property, and one will be through a valve here to gravity feed into this so that even it doesn't have to have a pump on there at any one time. So we went and got the old, went to the parts store up the back there of all the old fittings we've got. This is all blue line. So I get this from Bunnings or the plumbing shop or the hardware. It's all the same, right? Don't get too stressed out about it. Right, Philmac, okay, that's a good brand. This is all, I've got a lot of 25mm pipe. So 25 mil, you can see that there. 25mm, and then they're just various threads. That's a 3/4 thread, that's an inch thread. Right, I think this is 1.25 inches. Yep, so it's not that hard to work out, right? Look, 1.25 inches. And that goes, this is an adapter. This is an adapter that goes from 1.25 inches down to inch. And look, there's our inch fitting. Yeah? Righto. So what we want to do is, probably I've got an inch BSPT, British Standard Pipe Taper, or whatever that stands for. The thread's tapered, right? It's on an angle like that. That's what locks it in. And then we're going to use thread tape, which is got it in somewhere. Here we go. There's no lid on it. Where's the lid to that thing? Anyway, thread tape to get a good seal between the threads. All right. So what we would normally be doing is this is going to look at that. That's perfect. How good do we cut that out like that? So that'll wind onto there. Just. All right. We'll make it happen, okay? So that'll wind onto there, and we can either have that going off to the tap and the valve, ball valve or something, and then off to the water supply. So that's perfect. We're gonna keep that on there like that. We've got a T-piece ready to go. We've got a few bits and bobs here, so we've got to get some more stuff before we go out there. But I know that we'll be able to get the right stuff. So what we might do is now, Spud, we'll go we'll test the float to make sure. Coming up here, see how it hits? So we've got to bend that pipe down. So we'll bend, if this was the float on the end, we'll bend that pipe so it already starts down in the water a bit more, yeah?
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because it's in the water.
That's right, further into the water. So we've got a bunch of fittings here, we can do what we need to do, but the best thing is, yeah, that fitting will go on there, and that'll be our supply of just of that standard blue line. Let's go. I'm thinking if we can, we'll find a way to put the garden hose. We'll make up an adapter here now, and we'll put the garden hose on this and fill it up, and then that'll act like the tank. And then when it floats up, we'll be able to bend that float. I reckon we can probably bend that float now. So bring these guys over here. So you can see in there that float's going to hit that straight away. And there's a pin in here. I'm gonna squeeze that with the pliers. I can see that pin in there. Oh boy, to you. Pull. That's it. Keep pulling. Hey, good job. You right? Oh yeah, watch it. That's not sharp, but just watch yourself on that edge. So that's where that pivots, and it's coming up too high already. So I've got to be careful to bend that on the same plane. I can't, it doesn't have to be precise. I can really bend it out this way, bend it out that way. So I'm just going to put it in the vise. General rule of thumb is do it at the halfway mark. I'm just going to bend it ever so slowly. I'm going to slip something on here and I'm just going to bend it. So now you can see already that's going to be down in the water further. It's going to catch the water quicker before it gets to the off position. Okay? So we might side a bit easier for me. There we go. Oh. There we go. Beautiful. So now look here, look where this float is. Oh, beautiful. I reckon I've got a fair bit of pressure on that, shutting the valve off. Right, feel that pressure. Pull it up with your hand. So that's the water getting fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller. Right?
Yeah, but
I think that will be, that's a fair bit of pressure.
Yeah.
You know what? We might even go, if these things take a fair bit to, let's go test it, eh? We'll go test it, see if that's enough to shut the water off. At the garden hose pressure, if it is, happy days.
Or if it isn't, just
bend him a bit more, that's right. If it's too much, we'll bend it back. And then look, that's protected, see, look at that. And they're not going to be able to mess with the valve. Cool. So we scrounged ourselves up a bit of a fitting here to go to the garden hose. Spud's been kind enough to go and get the garden hoses, that's great. And what we'll do, mate, is we'll just tighten this on for now. We don't really care about leaks on the outside here. We just care that that's going to work in there. Okay, so we scrounge ourselves up a little bit of pipe here. I'm just going to make sure that's in there. Oh, see how you got to have it like all the way seated down. That's good. So we'll just do that up. So all we did there, we just got a standard garden fitting, a nipple, and a right angle thread, 3/4 inch thread to 25mm blue line. Put that one in there. Fill him up. All right, man. Do you want to turn that heat go on that water? Oh, there we go. That wasn't on properly. Beautiful, man. Righto. That is neat. No, leave it on. We've got to fill it up. All the way on that tap, brother. All right, we're getting to the business end here. That's going great, isn't it? Look at that float. That float's just going to clear that bar, I reckon, before she shuts off. She's starting to shut off now. Yeah, good job. Oh, look at that. That's good, that's going.
And that's going to be way easy for the baby sheep.
Yeah, it'll be way easier. It'll be low for them. Yep. They don't need so much water because their mums, they get the milk from the mum, but eventually there's a point where, you know, they're caught. Yeah, or they're caught between big enough to get into the big trough. And then, no. Speaking of,
Dad, maybe I can see if you drink.
Hey? Oh, I don't know. He's probably... We'll get this project done.
Yeah.
So that just gently, that'll keep going there until it shuts off. Yeah? It'll just keep hissing water and filling up till it shuts off. There we go. Oh. Carry on, don't they? As far as we're concerned, that's done. We're going to take this out, set it up, and that'll be the water for the sheep out where that tank is. And they can have power and no power, so yeah, that's a good project. All right, we're out at Renee's here. And this was what we set up with the water tank. So there's the two valves. We've got the tank here coming out of that valve. We've got a spare valve for when he puts the pump on. We've got the valve going to the water trough. So that worked out really well. You can see there how that worked out. Just want to get inside the wire there. There we go. We've got the wire there to protect it from the sheep. And the trough's going great. It worked out great. There's our friends. We just had to level it out a little bit, but other than that, yeah, it's going great. We got plenty of water. I think that's a win.